Yo guys, what's going on? Acez here today with another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the recent addition of Bloodhounds and the task that was associated with them in Escape from Tarkov. Do me a favor, make sure you're dropping a like on this video, and of course, make sure you're subscribing to the channel. I think I'm going to start making a few videos every week at this point. I would love to just kind of talk about Tarkov and not have any obligations to really play the game, if that makes sense. I'm not really interested in playing the game. I'm more interested in critiquing it and watching how everything unfolds when it comes to Battlestate games making changes and adding new stuff to the game that probably shouldn't be added. Now, I don't want to always be negative, but in today's video, we are going to be slightly negative, so if that's not your style, feel free to head out. And if you are new here, it's going to be an audio-only experience. So pull up that stash, get to organizing, or at least get to selling some shit on the flea market or flipping shit. I don't care what you do, but feel free to enjoy the audio-only experience here today. So Bloodhounds got added within the last week, and, you know, any correlation to the Chronicle of Rigi is not really what we're here to talk about. I don't care if it is lore-inspired or whatever. The way that Bloodhounds are right now and the task that is associated with them is pretty stupid. Now, I want to be very transparent and say that I'm not sure if the task is still available, as I believe the event has ended, but Bloodhounds are still in the game. I believe they're spawning at a 30% rate now, and during the actual event, they were spawning at a 100% spawn rate on certain maps in certain areas. If you don't know what a Bloodhound is, if you haven't been keeping up, basically it's kind of like a raider or a guard. It's a definitely more cracked out scav with some better gear. I would probably associate them like a guard because I feel as they have similar tendencies and behavior that the guards do. And just for a quick reference point, whether you want to use Gluhar's guards or Rashala's guards, both of them, those are the guards that they remind me of the most. You know, you can occasionally sweep an entire squad pretty easily, but you can also occasionally get one tapped or beamed from a crazy angle where they had no right killing you. They are overall cracked. They are not the easiest guys to kill. They travel in groups of 5, and once engaged, they kind of go ballistic. They kind of sprint everywhere. Sometimes they sprint straight at you. Sometimes they sprint for cover or better positioning. They seem like pretty intelligent AI. They're certainly not like AI regular, you know, tier 1 scavs. So these Bloodhounds had a quest introduced with them, and the quest was kill 30. Okay, that's fine. Until you know, maybe you kill a couple and you extract and you go in your next raid and you die. And then you see your quest has failed. You have to kill 30 without dying. This task is what I would call impossible. And I have come to this decision and conclusion and main reason why I'm making this video here today, after watching Landmark's video for the task. It's pretty much impossible for normal players in the current state of the game, in my opinion. Now, I know what some people are going to say. If you think this task is impossible, you are just ass at the game. Well, I'll have a couple points to that. But let me just say, before we start roasting Battlestate games and everything else, that there is a very slim possibility this task wasn't meant for us to complete. It could have been a cheater trap. And this is something that it's almost like going behind enemy lines. It's kind of like a Trojan horse. You know, introduce a really difficult task into the game that seems impossible and pretty much is for 99% of the player base. You know, obviously your top streamers who have all day and have some patience and get paid to play, they're going to get that task done. But if those streamers are on, you know, a whitelist or whatever the case may be, everybody else on that is going to get their account investigated, because it seems like the task of killing 30 of these fucking things in a row is almost like completing the guide on hard mode. The guide is, in my opinion, the most aggravating task in the game. I've completed it once and don't intend on to complete it ever again. It's kind of one of the harder tasks in the game, right? And comparing it to this Bloodhound task, I would say this new task is up there with one of the hardest tasks in the game because of the current environment of the game. If you want to kill 30 Bloodhounds in a row, you're going to have to use some good gear. You're probably going to throw on a slick, you're probably going to use some high pen ammo, and you're going to head into raid. Well, when you do this, you are going to have a nice big red X on you, a nice big target on you, because of every cheater being alerted to the gear you have in the raid. And if you watch Landmark's video, he dies to 2 cheaters, and that's pretty demoralizing. Now, he said, the second time he died to a cheater, he's playing for 4 hours and, was just about to finish the task. So playing for 4 hours straight and not having a cheater during his 4 hours, hey, that's not bad. But it doesn't change the fact that he did die to a cheater and all the progress on the task was lost. In the current state of the game, you just cannot complete tasks like this. And that's why it could be a cheater trap, because the cheaters can very easily go into, 6 raids and knock out all 30 Bloodhounds. Maybe Battlestate Games looks at who completed the task the fastest with the highest accuracy, or they just have a list of names that have completed that task and they investigate those accounts. Whatever it is, it could have been a cheater trap. And I want to give them the benefit of the doubt here, because this task being as hard as it is with the environment of the game, with cheaters knowing when you have good gear on, and just the simple fact that you have to kill 30 of them without dying, and there's only 5 that spawn, it's a pretty high order. It's a high ask. It's a tall order, okay? That's what I'm trying to say. So the average player will never finish this task, ever. They wouldn't do it. This is a task that was introduced into the game for the top of the top, high echelon, just grinders, gamers, and whatever, right? This is the top 0.01% of Tarkov players that will complete this task. It doesn't make any sense in my brain, to add a task that seems to be hyped up for an event that 99.9% of players can't even complete. It's like, why even make the task, right? It's just like you're catering to like 10 people and all the cheaters, obviously. It doesn't make sense to be a casual player seeing new shiny things being introduced in the game, like Lightkeeper, although that's a little bit different, knowing they will never see this task completed in their lifetime. There's some players that it takes them days just to get the bronze pocket watch, let alone kill 30 Bloodhounds. It'll never happen. So I think Battlestate was a little off on this one if it wasn't a cheater trap. And I think they've been a little off on a lot of things lately. And I just feel like it's a little out of touch. And we are really pushing the completion of Escape from Tarkov into 1.0 just in general. We're not really giving a shit anymore. I think we're just kind of pushing for that release. And honestly, that's fine, because I can't wait for Russia 2028. I think that's going to be a phenomenal title if it is single player. And, I want to make a video here in the future, in the next couple days, talking about if Tarkov just, Battlestate just cut their losses and release the game as it is and, just moved on. I don't think it'll happen, but, I want to make a video about that. But it's getting to a point where some of these things that are new, they do have potential in their ways. I think there is a lot of room for AI improvements and new AI in the game and new shiny things. But I think this one was a miss again. And I just don't know what Battlestate Games was thinking. What were they thinking? It just doesn't make sense. I saw initially a lot of people liked it. Once they figured out what was going on and figured out that the task was impossible, it was negativity all over the place. All of Tarkov Twitter was negative about the task, and they basically said, don't even waste your time. So that's my analysis on it. What was Battlestate Games thinking? I have no idea. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt that this task was simply a cheater trap. But that's just my assumption. Do me a favor, drop what you're thinking down in the comments below. Leave a like on the video, man. The channel needs it at this point. Drop a sub if you want to stick around. Like I said, I intend on making a video soon about if, Battlestate Games just said, hey, here's Tarkov, do what you want, and that's it. So make sure you're looking out for that. Appreciate you guys so much. Leave a like, subscribe. Sponsor the quiz below. It's going to be it. I'm out.